Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 2, Episode 11 of Trollhunters Tales of Arcadia, titled Unbecoming, also known as the episode the writers forgot. So we start off with Jim getting thrown into a cell and given the option of going through the trial or giving up and potentially dying, or giving up the amulet and walking free. So he screams at the amulet, "Why did you ever choose me? I don't want to be the troll hunter, you know." And out comes Unkar the Unfortunate to basically say, "You want a second chance? All right, here you go. Here's your second chance." And I can't tell if it's both Unkar and Merlin, or just Merlin mimicking Unkar. But I like to think it's Unkar and Merlin kind of working together. It's Unkar. I like to think that Unkar is not bitter about it. He made his own mistakes that led to his death. But, like, for the day he died, that was the proudest day of his life. He was the troll hunter. He was the guy. Afterwards, maybe he had the thoughts of it, but he saw, he kind of worked through it, I guess, after his death. So now it just pisses him off when other troll hunters say they want their second chance, because he barely even got his first chance as a troll hunter. So, to see someone like Jim, who slew Bullard, was there to see the defeat of Angor Rot, fought changelings and a whatever it is, just to sit there, and he survived the Darklands. Just to see him, go on and try and quit probably pissed him off. Or at least that's what I like to think. Either way, it definitely pissed off Merlin, because his amulet does not make mistakes. Troll hunters make mistakes, but the amulet, it chooses the best person at that point in time. So Jim kind of time travels back to the beginning and doesn't choose to become the troll hunter, and basically freaks everybody out, because he's trying to insist on everything. He goes through the motions of the series, his birthday, Romeo and Juliet. He doesn't get to play. I don't know why he doesn't audition for the play, though. I don't know. He kind of screws everything up in the beginning, because he's got all this knowledge and they don't. He finds out about Killahead Bridge, and so goes to Troll Market to warn Blinky and them, but they think he's a troll changeling, so they dip. Look, I don't know why he got so damn offended about that. Of course they think he's a troll hunter. Just sit your ass down and wait till the gaggle attack gets come back, and oh my god, he's not a changeling. So he must be something. Like, he just, I don't know. I guess he might have got his wings hurt because Blinky didn't know who he was. And dude, you'd have thought you were a changeling, man. Come on. He eventually goes to Strickler, but they have a fight, and I guess he kind of believes him, but it's too late, as Gunmar's escaped. So he goes there. He and Strickler the Turncloak, managed to try to race to him, the museum. But they get stopped by Bular and Gunmar. And this Strickler in general is a brave character, because he looked at both of them and held his own, was willing to sacrifice himself. That is awesome. Got my problems with Strickler, but I'll give him his flowers. He's a very brave character. Jim gets there, notices Doll is dead, and the amulet's destroyed, and has his breakdown, which is fair enough. And then Merlin comes in and says, and then he decides, you know what, there's nothing to it. He grabs Doll's daylight and is ready to march outside and, die fighting, because that's what a troll hunter does. He, fights to the last, I guess. And Merlin says, "My amulet doesn't make mistakes. Go prove why you're the troll hunter." And he wakes up in the cage and accepts the trial. Because to accept his life means to destroy the amulet and doom humanity. And Jim cannot do that, as he saw what happens when the amulet is destroyed. So, in the next episode, we about to see our boy get hoed in the trial, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. I kind of feel like the reactions to Jim accepting his inevitable death were a bit lacking. Like, we didn't see Claire. I hope we get more of a reaction to that in the next one. Because they were just like, they accepted that way too quickly. I guess they're kind of hoping he gets off, but still. Yeah. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode, you know? The writers didn't, though, because they somehow forgot this episode. Yeah. Because they seem to forget this episode. I'm going to give this episode a solid 8 out of 10. This is a real character growth moment episode for Jim, you know. I feel like this one is the one. It sets him to truly become to become. He had his unbecoming, and then he truly became. Even better than before, if that makes sense. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.